Well, Aftab Malhotra is an entrepreneur based in London and Bangalore, and he's here with me in the studio. Thank you so much for joining us here on the programme. Is the UK right to look to markets like India? I mean, how great is the potential, do you think?
Sure, thanks, Matthew. So I think it's a no-brainer conversation for me, you know, coming out of the Brexit or coming into a hard Brexit, however you want to put it. I think we are, you know, let me give you an example. Let's imagine our country is a company and we have a value proposition and we have to market ourselves to the rest of the world. Then one country we should be marketing to is India. Simply because, you know, India has the largest competitive demographic advantage on the planet. 50% of the country is below the age of 26. And many of these talented people fall into our brightest and best mantra that Theresa May has talked about. We need to attract these people to the UK. So I think.
And I know that you are involved in a lot of startups. In terms of areas where trade could be increased, what are the obvious areas in your view?
Yeah, so I think the one that strikes to me as being a great opportunity is technology, all the way, digital or technology. I think technology across the board, areas like big data, cybersecurity, robotics, biotech, fintech. We're a huge financial services nation. I think technology is an area of collaboration and opportunity for both nations, and I know Boris Johnson's trip is going to be focused on that. In fact, I think he's meeting a whole bunch of entrepreneurs there.
And yet, we've seen countless trips. I remember Cameron going with plane loads of British businessmen many times, and actually, if you look at the figures over the last decade, it hasn't greatly improved trade both ways.
Yeah, I think a couple of things. I think first you have to look at history. I think we have a strong business case and cultural story to trade with India. Yes, you are right. There are challenges. There are obvious challenges. You know, one of the big challenges is, of course, the stuff people don't like to talk about, which is mobility, business mobility, and the I word, immigration. And
how much has that played? Because I know it's a constant thorn, certainly for Indians coming to the UK and wanting to do business. That whole visa issue has really queered the pitch. What else are problems apart from that when you say immigration?
I think, well, let me give you a live example. If you're a British business today and you want to go trade with India, you have to follow a whole bunch of regulations, rules, and adhere to policies coming out of India. I think that's been a real challenge for UK businesses to trade with India. And I think the other way around, it's been all about, a lot of it's been about brand and perception as well. I think Boris Johnson's trip has to be all about breaking some of the myths and, you know, talking about the realities of doing, you know, cross-country trade. So I think there have been a heap of challenges. I think the opportunity moving forward is if we get our agenda clear and we set a set of, you know, outline a set of policies that are digital friendly, which involves investment, which involves open visas, then I think life will be much easier for both nations.
You talk about image and brand, and I suppose that is helped when the Mayor of London, for example, talks about London being open for business, exactly the sort of things that you are talking about. What about the other way round? That issue of bureaucracy, the difficulty for UK companies to actually operate in India. There's been a lot of talk about breaking that down, improvements, and it hasn't actually really happened.
Yeah, so I think if you're alluding to what's going on in India and how can India do a better job of enabling us to trade with India as well, well, you know, I've been setting up businesses in India for a long time, and I can tell you things are getting better. So Prime Minister Modi's campaign around Digital India, Make in India, which is about manufacturing, and of course, Stand Up India, Startup India, is all about digitizing or digitalizing that nation. So I think things are getting better, but you know, we can do it faster.
Just briefly, isn't the fly in the ointment here? A real problem is that actually these big significant deals, if that is the hope, you can't actually do that till the UK is out of the EU, and that could be years away.
Yes, so you know, you have to do the best you can with what you have, and I think we've got to start the groundwork now. I think what Theresa May has done with her trip and what Boris Johnson is doing now is fantastic. We need a lot more of our politicians and business people going out there and talking sense and doing stuff quickly. We have a limited window of opportunity too, right? So there are many other nations who will be after India, and it's a competitive marketplace. So we've got to be honest.
It really is. Aftab Malhotra, thank you so much for coming in and talking to us.
Real pleasure,
Thank
Matthew.
you.